getting ready to go. I say swim, but I think, like, someone corrected me. It's actually aqua aerobics. So that's why people are like, why do you do your hair and makeup? I usually just throw on a hat and sunglasses, and it's aqua aerobics. So there, that clarifies that question. Anyway, I'm getting ready to go, and just a little life update. Just thought I would put this out there. Hacker still in my account. Still there. Can't get him off, no one to help. I'm cleaning off my timeline, right? I'm scrubbing everything. So the hacker, even if he can get in, which I don't think he can, but even if he can get into like my actual Facebook, he can't see anything. My dad last night, who is new to Facebook, posts all, like, on my page, all this personal information. Like, why do you use this name when your given legal name is this name? And you're from this place and you grew up on this street. And I'm like, oh my God, like, are you working with the hacker? Are you trying to get my identity stolen? So I'm so frustrated. I deleted it, obviously. It was just there for a few hours, but I was really, really frustrated with that. Yesterday, my mother-in-law, who is in the memory care unit at a facility, she assaulted someone, and we had to deal with that. That's not her, that's part of the disease. Just if you're not familiar with Alzheimer's, they can get violent. So yeah, that's not anything personal against her, but we had to deal with that. My husband obviously is extremely upset and stressed out about that. And today we are going to get my dad a phone because he doesn't understand social media, but he needs a phone in order to live, work, survive in his current living situation. So he is in a retirement community. He's not in a home. He should be in a home, but that is just such another issue. Power of attorney, you can't just place your parent in a home. If the doctor doesn't say that they are not mentally incapable of making decisions for themselves, and he's, begrudgingly, I have to admit, he's mentally capable of making decisions for himself. You can't just place an elderly person in a home and say, you're going. It's just not the way it works. So he's in a retirement community, and that retirement community is going to 100% app-based. Happy Monday. I am headed out to swim. I did not film anything yesterday because it just was a whirlwind. It became such a crunch for time. It was so difficult to get everything done, and I got the phone for my dad, but because I had the hacker issues, I've locked so much down on all of my accounts. It was a big deal to add another line to our accounts because everything is locked down, and they want to make sure that you're not a fraud person, a hacker or something. So I had to go to 2 different places, but because of that, I didn't get a carrier discount. I could have gotten a better deal. I could have paid, anyway, I had to pay basically $1,000 to get his phone. Well, I had only quoted him a lesser amount, so I'm not going to charge him. He doesn't even really want the phone. He wants nothing to do with the phone. It's just almost a necessity of where he's at. He was having a really bad day because he's starting to notice some memory issues. So now can't see, can't hear, can't walk, can't drive, can't remember. So he had an episode in church yesterday where he was playing the piano and he forgot the notes, and then he couldn't see the notes in order to read them. I guess the music was just sort of there as a window dressing or a crutch or whatever the case is, and he felt really, really bad about it. He still doesn't understand why people won't just come over to talk about him. And he will tell you straight up. He's honest. He's like, if you're my friend, you're here to talk about me and the things that I enjoy. We are not here to talk about you. You cannot tell me how your day is. It is all about me. And I've tried to explain to him that that is not the way friendships work. And potentially that's why he doesn't have a lot of people come and visit, because you can only listen to the same story so many times. He got very upset. And it's really difficult because I will sit there and listen to him, but I can only do it for so long. I can't do it every day. And he really, really wants 24/7 just listen to him, about him. And that's not, mom was a saint. I don't know how she did it. Well, she had memory issues, so maybe she forgot that she was doing it. Anyway, she's still a saint. So I didn't film anything yesterday. Now it's Monday. I'm headed to swim. I'm not happy with my outfit that I have picked out for today, but I just plain don't care. I have my Gucci big leather belt bag today. I have my lunch in there because I'm trying to eat better. It's just some nutrition bars. And then there's so much I have to do today. I'm doing a print copy of the final because I've just caught too many of my students cheating. So I'm doing a print copy, so I have to actually use the copy machine and make copies, which I haven't done since before 2020. I'm not even sure I remember how to use the copy machine. Can't be that difficult. So that's where we are. Starting with the swim. I need gas. Can't get that right now. I can make it to work. I'll get gas on the way home. It's just stressful. Gonna do a quick Target run. I have to take my mother-in-law today to get an ultrasound and some other intensive mammogram stuff done at the hospital, and it's kind of, closer to LA than I am. So it's gonna, taking a person with Alzheimer's to doctor's appointments is pretty intensive, but we're gonna go to Target, and I have got to get a card reader for one of the yearbook cameras. The kids, who knows what they did with the card reader? I'm not entirely sure, and I don't have time to look for it, and I need these pictures from graduation, so I'm gonna get a card reader, maybe get some film from my daughter's camera, then I'm gonna go pick up Nana, take her to the doctor. It's good times. In other news, something happened this week that I was not expecting, and not really ready to talk about it, but definitely, of all the ways that I thought this week was going to go, this was not anything that was on my radar or anything that I thought would happen. So Target run, Nana to the doctor's. Today was the last day with kids at school, which is kind of bittersweet. It's sad. They did really well in their finals. I'm very happy with them, very proud of them. And it was a good way to end the school year. A lot of kids saying, thank you for being my teacher. And that always, makes you feel pretty special. So anyway, it was a good end to the school year. And now we just have to get through Nana time. I swear it looks like it's going to storm, which is not cool. Oh well. Target run. We are going to the beach. It is not beach weather, but we're going to the beach anyway because it is the first day of summer. So here we go. I vlogged for an entire week. That was an entire week's worth of stuff. Not the juicy stuff, not the like necessarily really important stuff, but it was the stuff. Every single day there was footage from that day. So I'm quite proud of myself. Other than the very first clip and this clip, everything was done on my iPhone. So something to consider before you go out and purchase a vlogging camera. Really think of what that means to you. So for me, a vlogging camera is two ways of looking at this. So there's the camera that you use to get clips out and about and to share that aspect. And then there's that camera that you sit down with. And I think most content creators do have both of those things. And at one point in time, I really thought that they were sort of not one and the same, not at all. But I've seen content creators take their, G7X out and about, and I think that that's okay if that's your thing, but I'm not a big purse person. I'm definitely a smaller purse person. I don't like the idea of having to turn it on. And I mean, obviously you have to turn your phone on as well. I get it. But, it's just something to keep in mind. I'm not a travel vlogger. I'm not, possibly if I was going to, a high-end mall and I was going to do a whole series on the new spring bags or summer bags that were out, and I really wanted to get a lot of content of those bags, I might take two things. If we end up going anywhere this summer, which we probably won't because, the small one, the little one I can take with me, but the two elderly people, they require a lot of work. Even the one that's in a home, you would think they're, in a facility where they have nurses and people that are taking care of them. They still require a lot of work. I had to take her to the doctor. Funny thing, when I took her to the doctor, they're like, you can't come back here, right? You can't come in with her. And it's in her charts. That she has these memory issues. And so I sit outside, 5 minutes later, they come back. They're like, could you come back here? Could you help us? So when you take somebody, it's not like I can have someone from the home or have anyone else sort of escort her to these things. She can't remember my name sometimes, and she can't remember, I'm habitually her aunt. I don't know who her aunt was, but I hope she had a good relationship with her aunt, because oftentimes she'll be like, this is my aunt. I'm like, daughter-in-law, but it's fine. I can be her aunt. She just gets all kind of mixed up. And so, they need a lot of work. We're going to take my dad to the store today. He has a whole list of chores for me. He can't understand. He's very upset. He's like, you're on summer vacation now. Why are you not doing more of my chores? It's like, it's not really vacation yet. We had school all the way until Friday. I had to be on campus all the way until Friday. And then intermixed with that, there was the end of the year tradition for my daughter's school is everybody goes to the beach. So there's that. Then there's, there was graduation that day that I was at school literally from 8 in the morning until 8:30 at night. And I didn't get to leave. And I live 40 minutes away from where I teach. So that's, a large chunk of time. And then there's, teacher checkout day. And then my daughter was asking and begging if she could go boogie boarding, which was great. And we took her to a different beach to go boogie boarding. There were stingrays everywhere. And that sort of puts a damper on your boogie boarding experience if there are stingrays. And something I've noticed, I definitely have been grabbing that Lululemon belt bag a lot more, just because I can throw it into a beach bag. I seriously don't care. And every woman in Southern California is carrying that Lululemon belt bag. I should just do how many times do I see a Lululemon belt bag out and about kind of a video, only I don't want to record strangers in random locations. But seriously, there are so many of them out there. And I now have three colors. I have three colors. I have a pink one, a light pink one, a black one, and a army green one. So I don't think I need any more colors. And then I have the Aloe belt bag in white, which it's good. The strap is not as comfortable on that one. It's a thinner strap and it's not as comfortable. But you definitely need some kind of nylon belt bag for the summer, especially if you live somewhere like the beach where it's gonna get kind of messy and dirty. I don't know. But anyway, I was very proud of myself. It was the first time, and I didn't necessarily, I think, film quality stuff. There were so many things that I missed, but I felt that it was a step in the right direction. That whole work-life balance thing was really difficult this week, and sometimes just pulling out the phone and, you know, I'm gonna film this. And I got this idea of sort of what I wanted to do probably by Monday. And I was trying to get the whole bags of the week. So I think I did Lululemon belt bag. No, I think I did the Aloe belt bag on Sunday. The Gucci on Monday. The Lululemon belt bag inside of the Longchamp on Tuesday. Wednesday was the Palm Springs mini. Thursday was back to the Gucci. And then Friday was the Lululemon belt bag. Saturday was also a Lululemon belt bag. You could see it on the car seat beside me for like a second. And then today is a Lululemon belt bag. So you can see where the summer is sort of going. We've been talking about ideas about maybe going to San Diego for a few days. I don't know if that's actually going to come to pass. It's sort of up in the air right now. We'll see. I don't know, but I was very pleased with my week. Somebody had asked me about editing, and so next week, there's two things that I would like to share next week. One is my summer scrapbooking journaling that I do, and then the other one is my editing process. So those are the two things that I feel like sharing. We're actually about to go out right now and get something that I'm going to be using for my summer journal, our summer journal, because I'm trying to get my daughter to journal. It's just been such a great thing for me. I started my first journal when I was I got my first journal in 3rd grade, but in 5th grade, my parents we would vacation in Maine, Boothbay Harbor, Maine a lot. And my parents let me take a friend. It was very exciting. And my friend Bethany came with me, and we went to this little seaside shop, and we got blank hard-covered books, journals, and we decided that we were going to keep a journal. Now, Bethany, if you're watching this, I don't know how long you kept your journal, but mine had a picture of a tabby cat on the front, and that was the start of my really serious journaling journey. And I'm not sure in 5th grade a lot of it made sense and or was spelled correctly, but still, it started my journaling experience, and to this day, I have journals throughout my from 5th grade on to, almost 50. So I think it's a valuable thing. I love digital journaling, but I will explain the whole thing and the whole process. We're doing a combination of paper and digital because, my daughter wants to do paper and she's an artist and that's what she wants to do. So that's what we're doing. Very random kind of work life. Like I said, it was a huge busy week. This was one of the most intense weeks. And then right smack, it was like Thursday morning, something happened that just turned it into like a more intense week. It's not my story to tell, but maybe someday it will be my story to tell. The point is, when it rains, it pours. Like, just like, and so I was very proud of myself for the whole journey through. And it wasn't the best glimpse into my life. I think it was like the safe glimpse into my life. I think I vlogged the copy machine, for crying out loud. There are better things that I could have focused on other than the copy machine. So I need to work on content, but it's developing. It's developing, and mentally it helps me. I like having that record. For those of you that, haven't been here in the past, the reason why I started vlogging was when my mother-in-law developed Alzheimer's. And in the very beginning, we would sit her down, and she made movies. And she had movies from by the early 90s on. And that having that record of her life, one, for her to be able to, oftentimes she didn't recognize herself, but for her to be able to see, but then for my husband to have that as a record again. And then when my mom passed, those snippets that she had taken, that my mother-in-law had taken of my mom, because we were not a digital family. Obviously, my dad just got a phone. I mean, clearly, we were not a digital family. There isn't that living record of her voice and her mannerisms that, except for what my mother-in-law was able to capture, from my husband and I when we were younger, in our wedding and vacations and things. And so to have that meant so much. And that's why I really started trying to be very consistent. And I put it on YouTube just in case there were other people like me out there that were maybe dealing with aging relatives, that were, the only child, the only person out there to care for those aging relatives, to find yourself, when my mom passed, it was that real reality check of, you're going to be alone. So not alone. I mean, I have my husband, I have my daughter, but you know what I mean? Like that mortality check almost. And so connecting with other people that were in a similar situation and or had that, and then the love of handbags, like I love handbags, that's a thing. So it all kind of came together, but that was the whole reason behind starting the vlog in the first place. And so I've gone from just plain handbag reviews to sort of more of like, this is my life, and everything that I record and I create, then I back up and I keep on a drive for my daughter as well, just so we have it. And it's literally gone week by week through our lives for the past year at least. And so that's sort of why, then last summer I started playing around with cameras, and this year I've been sort of playing around with cameras to see which ones I like, what works, what doesn't. But this week was really not focused so much on the bags, and it was me just trying to figure out, okay, well, what do I film? Where do I film? How do I film? And what really focused on what I was using and how I was using it. And realistically, I'm using my Canon little, whatever the hell this is. I don't know what it's called. It's the Canon. And then my iPhone. What do you think? Capybara case, right? And so I thought that was really interesting. And so I need to work on content a little bit more. I think sometimes I'm afraid to, not afraid, but I don't necessarily go for the juicy pieces yet, or it's not on my mind, but it will be. So that's the summer of growth. That's where we're headed. So if you're going to invest your money, because we all know I'm working for this debt-free kind of thing. If we're going to invest our money, here are the places that I would invest it for this summer. One, I think you could do sit down talk with your phone. So get a good phone. Get an up-to-the-date good phone. Not just for security, because we, hacker the whole deal, right? Like security, they just came out and said like anything, Apple's no longer supporting security updates for old phones. Dave, and your iPhone 7, we're talking to you. Get a new phone, buddy. Get a new phone, Dave. And then the content and the camera on that, I think it's just the easiest and the best thing to use. So phone first, then tripod. Those are the two things. Then explore other forms of camera for content creation. And then a Lululemon belt bag. That's where I'd be spending my money. I would upgrade my phone, number one. Get the latest and greatest phone, whether that be an iPhone or an Android. I'm not going to judge, but get the latest and greatest phone, get a good tripod, and then get a Lululemon belt bag. I feel like you're ready to go for the summer. That's my recommendation for this week.